Hey, it's Carolina Blasco doing significant figures. So some general rules are that the zeros at the beginning of a number are never significant. The zeros at the end of a number are not significant unless there is a decimal point in the number. Zeros between two non-zero numbers are always significant. So sig figs do help get rid of those unnecessary zeros in a number. So you notice that there's a bunch of zeros in the first example. You clean it up by putting it 2 times 10 to the 38th. And also the second one, you can clean that up by putting it 10 to the negative 23rd. Notice that in the second example the power is negative, so the power will be negative if you're moving the decimal place to the left, and the power will be positive if you move the decimal place to the right for a bigger number. You can also clean up the numbers by converting the number into different units. So notice that you could change it from meters to kilometers and get rid of those zeros right there. Also, you could change it from meters to millimeters and get rid of some of those zeros right over there just by moving the decimal place over. Rounding numbers, it is necessary to round numbers to the right number sig figs. So in the first examples, we're rounding it to the 4 sig figs. So you just count the 4 first numbers in the first 2 examples right there, and you just round it to the 4 sig figs. Right over here, you can see that these 3 zeros are not significant since they're right after that decimal point. So we start right over here at these 4 sig figs to get this answer. And then over here, we only have 3 sig figs, and then to get 4, you have to put the point O. And again, for rounding to 6 sig figs, the exact same thing, and so on. Critical thinking. This one has a 9, the 3, the 7, the 1 are the first 4. The next ones are the 8, the 3, the 6, and the 2. The 9, the 1, the 0, and the 2. And the last one's the 4, 0, 0, and 1. And how many sig figs are in each of the following? We have 5, 5, 4, 8, and 3. Notice that right here, there are a bunch of zeros, but because they're between 2 ones, they are significant. Rule number 2. As you can see, the 2,400.0 miles is more precise than 2,400 miles because the decimal point in 2,400.0 miles means that it was measured very precisely, and it was measured to the 10th mile. So a decimal point anywhere in the number makes zeros at the end of a number significant as well. In this example, you can see that the beginning zeros are not significant, but the zero at the end is significant because it's after numbers and after a decimal point as well. Multiplying and dividing. First, you count the number of significant figures in each of the number. Then you round your answers to the least number of significant figures. So the first example, we have 3 sig figs divided by 2 sig figs. So your final answer should only have 2 sig figs since 2 is the least number of sig figs. The next example, we have 3 sig figs times 5 sig figs. So your final answer needs 3 sig figs since 3 is the least number of sig figs in the problem. Some critical thinking questions. You have 2 sig figs, 2 sig figs, 2 sig figs as well, 1 sig fig, and 1 sig fig as well. Rounding numbers, sometimes it's necessary to round to a decimal place. So here's the number or names of the decimal places. Some critical thinking questions. Round to the 10th place. You could round that to 0.8 for the tenths. You could round that to 0.9 for the 10th place. And then you could round this to 0.0 for the 10th place as well. So it goes to 929.0. Adding and subtracting. Rounding numbers when adding and subtracting is different from multiplying and dividing. In adding and subtracting, you round to the least specific decimal place of any number in a problem. So right here we're adding, you see that in the first number there is to the 100th place, and then second number, the 720, is to the 10th place. So when you get your answer, you make sure that it's the least specific place. So the 10th place was the least specific, so you get 1070 for your answer right there. Same thing with subtracting. The first number is to the 1000th place, and also the second number is to the 10th place. So your answer gets rounded to the thousandth place because it's less specific. Some critical thinking questions right here. Some answers, you get those because those are least specific. And then also some more questions for solving. This is a combination of adding, subtracting, and multiplying, dividing. So those are some answers to get you as well. So the subtracting is to the least specific, same with adding, and the multiplying is to the least amount of sig figs possible.